Hello everyone, welcome back to the Vector W8 Garage. I am Kurt. That is my Vector W8. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. For those of you who are back around for the 24th, 25th time, I really appreciate all you guys watching. Today we're going to do a little maintenance on the old girl. Because she sits so much, she idles a lot. When I start her up, I'll start her up every couple of weeks, let her run for a little bit. Because of the way this car is designed, it's meant to be running at high RPM, meant to be doing high speeds, etc. So sitting here idling all the time for it, not exactly what she was intended to do. But what ends up happening over time is the spark plugs on her will get loaded up. And so we'll want to pull those out today, take a look at them, because I've got at least one, maybe two of them that are fouled out just from sitting here idling. She runs a little bit on the rich side when she's sitting here idling, because you'd much rather foul out a plug than burn through a piston. So this is the much cheaper route, although the spark plugs that she comes with are Bosch W5 DP0s, and those are her original equipment. Those spark plugs are becoming harder and harder and harder to find. Don't have a real good source for them, so you got to look around on the internet all the time and try and find the best price. And these days they're running anywhere between $20 and $33 a piece. So you multiply that by 8 and you get a pretty substantial bill out of the deal just for spark plugs. So the idea is to pull them out, take a look at them, see which ones have loaded up on me, which really doesn't matter, just as long as we get them cleaned up and put back in. But we will see if we can clean these up and put them back in, as opposed to replacing them with new. I do have a couple of new sets sitting in a cabinet that I bought years ago. It seems like once every 10 years she gets loaded up, so it's not very often that I have to go through this and do this, but we're at that point again. I'll post a picture here that'll show you what she looks like when she fouls a plug. You can see it in the exhaust system. It'll go red hot and glow on you, and then you know you've got excess fuel being pushed through the combustion chamber and out into the exhaust side of things. So without further ado, we'll get her up on the hoist, and then we'll go ahead and start taking the spark plugs out one at a time. I'll get you guys set up underneath the car so you can see that. Pretty easy to access. She's got a lot of open area under there, so it's kind of nice. She's easy to work on. So let me get her up on the hoist and we'll go from there. Alright, so there she is sitting up on my hoist. It's a nice little low-rise hoist. It's a bend pack. Gets her up about 34, 36 inches off the ground, which is plenty for me to crawl underneath her and do any of the services that need to be done. So this one is ready to go at this point. I'll get you guys set up underneath the car and we'll go from there. Well, this may be a little easier said than done, trying to get you guys underneath the car and get an angle for this. Might be a little difficult. The spark plugs are all up here, and I don't see them on the view screen for the camera, which means the tilt angle that I have to get is almost vertical for this, for you guys to be able to see. Let me see if I can kind of get you a view of where we're at here. Alright, so up in there are spark plugs. Easy to access from down below here. There's plenty of room for me to get my hands up in there and get to them. So kind of the easy part of this is just pulling them all out. The hard part of this is going to be getting you guys the ability to see that. So we'll do the best we can here and see what we can come up with, but I'm not really confident that we're going to get a good angle on this for you. But we shall see here. I'll see if I can put you there and see if you guys can see what I'm doing here. All right. First boot off. Come on. Next one off. I mean, the plug wires, for being 30 years old, still look like they are brand new. Next one, and my final removal here. We'll just get it loosened up a little bit here. And there it is. So that's the right bank off, I guess we would say. So now we'll see if we can get our wrench up in here fairly easily. And that's all there is to it. First one's loose. Second one. See if we can get her loose. I guess my wrench is gonna argue with me here. Let me see if we can pull plug number first plug out and take a look at her. Like I say, always easy to get access to them. Just my fat hands and fat fingers these days don't work like they used to when I was a young buck. But that one's looking pretty oiled up, pretty dirty. So we'll take a look at that one. We'll get that all cleaned up if we can. That one is let's see, there. The foam inside the socket that holds the plugs certainly drips onto them well. Pretty easy task here. Let's take a look at this guy, see what we got. That one's pretty dirty. Nice and black and oily looking, so you definitely can use a good cleanup. That one out. Alright, next one. Oh, no. I suppose it's gonna fight me a little bit here and go out of the plug. There she is. The fun is the reach from the bottom up, just because I'm not exactly a tall guy. So let's see here. See how that one's looking now? Yeah, they're all dark. They're all black. You know, all soiled up from riding rich like she does, and not getting cleaned out by me taking her out and giving her a couple of full throttle runs. Kind of hard to do in a garage, so we don't get her under load much these days, but that's okay. She a bit of a garage queen due to her value and the inability to replace certain parts, which you know, the scariest part about driving around the road is a rock or a stone coming up. And I think I've mentioned this before. The windshield can't be replaced. The only way to do it is to retool it up. And has the tooling, oh yeah, pretty loaded up there, as you guys can see, looking pretty dirty. The only way to replace a windshield in this car is to rebuild the mold and start fresh. So it's a couple $100,000 just to make a windshield for this car. All of the windshields that we had that were spares were smashed up by the Indonesians because they didn't think Jerry deserved to have those back when the hostile takeover had occurred, and then Jerry won it back. So, needless to say, there are no spare windshields for these cars. So, can't get them out and run them on the road without risking something bad happening to that. Alright, let's see if we can, that's all four on the right bank, and then the left bank we'll have to get you set up on the other side so you can see that. Alright, you guys, so I wasn't able to show you the last four that I took out on the left bank of the engine because you would have had to have been where my hands needed to be in order to get them out. So I apologize for that, but if we look at each one of these, they're pretty well carbon fouled. They're you know, pretty black and oily looking. Just checking all of them. This one here flaked a little bit of it off here, but you know, for the most part, they're all pretty even. Pretty black, pretty oily. That one a little bit less, not much, but that one's, you know, got quite a bit on it. So what I'll do is I'll take some carb clean to these with a brush, and we'll get them all cleaned back up again. And you can see that one good and black. They're all pretty even. I'm not seeing anything where one's, you know, cleaner than the other, and you know, there's one that's particularly fouled out. This is just very even, which is just indicative of the car idling in the garage a lot, and you know, at least getting started up and run, and you know, everything's still functional. All the seals are good in her and everything else. So it's good that we keep her running, but we'll just get these cleaned up, get them all ready to go, and we'll put them back in, and she'll be good for another, gosh, I think it was 10 years ago that I did this. So it's it takes a long time for them to get that way. It's not something that happens overnight or after a year of sitting in the garage. It's a pretty significant amount of time, and you know, I mean, for as little as she gets run, these certainly aren't, you know, you don't see any heat marks on the porcelain or anything like that, so it's not you know, getting nasty. The plugs aren't going bad themselves. They actually look quite new. If you look at them for 10-year-old spark plugs, you take a look at the rest of them, and they're in really good shape. So we'll just clean them up. We'll put them back in, and she'll be good to go, like I say, for hopefully another 10 years, and we won't have to worry about these for a while. I'll be you know, quite a bit older. I'll be you know, 65 by the time I do this again, hopefully. But yeah, so that's next. So we'll get them cleaned up. We'll then get them ready to go, and we'll reverse the process here, put them all back in, and she'll be ready to be fired back up and running like a champ again. But I'll show you, like I say, I'll put a picture in where I had there, which is, show you what the indicator is of the spark plugs fouling out, because there's a lot of raw fuel that gets dumped into the exhaust, and she's got a all stainless steel exhaust on her, so she heats up red hot when you see the fouled plugs and the excess fuel dumping into the exhaust manifold side. So I can show you what the indicator was that said, oh hey, time to take a look at those. So let's get them cleaned up. Alright, so I don't like squirting any of this stuff inside because I've got a heater that's in there that is a gas-fired, well, propane-fired heater, should I say, and spraying a bunch of solvents around inside the garage, not really a good idea when you're just trying to keep the place from blowing up. So we'll grab a little this, we'll give her a little brush up, and go through and rinse and repeat the process here on all 8 plugs. Pretty pretty easy. They clean up quite nice. Just want to make sure I get as much of this off as I can, just so it's as clean as it possibly can be to go back in there. But yeah, these plugs, I mean, they're not what I would call a used plug, truthfully. They're hardly been used at all in that car. So once we get them all cleaned up, they come back quite nicely. I mean, they're good for, a lot of miles. They're a platinum plug, so like I say, the issue is finding new ones, and I don't really feel like paying $33 a piece for them when they're not bad to begin with. They just have a little bit of oil buildup on them, a little bit of carbon fouling going on, and that's easy enough to take care of with a brass brush and just clean them up so that they look like they should and function like new. And so they'll go right back in the car and be ready to go for another 10 years. So there they are. Not bad at all. So rinse and repeat. We'll speed this up for you guys so that you don't have to watch me go through all of them, but I figure we'll do a couple of them here, let you see what they look like and just how easy they are to clean up. And once we have them clean, then we can put them all back in the car. Less than a day job, so it'd take me all of 4 hours, but from start to finish with these to do this. So it's not bad at all. But again, they clean up quite easily. Alright. So what I will do is I'll pause you guys for just a second here and then start you up again so I can time lapse all this for you so you don't have to watch me go through this painful process. Alright guys, so there we have it. We've got all 8 of them cleaned up. All of them looking really good. So now we'll just reverse the process. We'll go put them back in the car, and we'll see how she does. The next time we start her up, she should be like brand new again. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward procedure, but one of those things that I have to do to the car because of the way that she is stored and not driven a whole lot. So you just gotta, I've got no other way to clean the plugs up by getting you know, some load on them and some high RPM in them to get the heat up there high enough to stop those from running cold. So they run cold due to the idle condition in the garage. But yeah, not a bad job. Something that's pretty quick, pretty straightforward, and we'll go throw these back in the car and call it a day. Alright guys, we're back out of the car. I'm not real sure if I can get you guys to stick up here and hopefully get a shot of what I'm doing. We shall see. A little bit tough underneath here. I don't have a normal size hoist because the ceilings in this garage just don't exactly allow that to happen. I suppose I could put a taller hoist in here, but it would have to go further forward in the garage, which is where I keep the other cars at. So that might be a bit of a problem. So for the time being, though, this works very nicely for what I need it to do. It is very easy to work on this car, on this hoist, just because of the way it was designed and built. It's a very service-friendly car, I guess I would say. I haven't found many other cars, especially exotic cars, that you can work on as easily as you can this one. Of course, as I'm saying that, the spark plug's giving me a hard time going back in its hole here, just because I'm probably at the wrong angle. Yeah, there we go. There, we found her. Nice and easy. Two in, 2 to go. We'll see how easy my reach is here. It's more a function of the short guy trying to get his butt up in there far enough so that we can get to the spark plug hole. Because you're going from the bottom of the V8 as opposed from the top. And the only reason that you can't go from the top is because of all the heat shields that are in place on this car, protecting all the other components from the exhaust, because she definitely generates some heat. Those turbos definitely hold those exhaust gases in that in the manifolds and pipes for quite a bit of time as it's expelling out the rear end, but you need all that heat generated to spool those turbos up. So there we go, and then one more to go on the back side here. Let's see. Just got to get my visual cue here. Alright, so there we are. Each of those in. And then, honey, I shrunk the ratchet here. I'll run the smaller ratchet up in here because I don't need the length to get any sort of torque on these. They're pretty easy to torque by hand. Just because the crush washer's been crushed before, it just means nice and easy till you get about 15 foot-pounds of torque on them. You can feel them in here as they're going. Pretty simple, easy to do, nothing crazy. There we have it. And last but not least, okay. Alright, so that's 4 plugs in the rear. A couple of minutes worth of our time to get those back in. Doesn't take much to do. So next thing is just getting the spark plugs wires installed on here again. So pretty simple task. You feel them clip on there. Very nice and easy. Last but not least, a little bit more of a reach for me to get up in here, but not bad at all. All installed on the rear bank, or on the right, or should I say front bank. So that's it. I'll get the other 4 put back in there and we'll call that good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it, another easy maintenance procedure done on a Vector W8. They're not hard to work on. That's the wonderful thing about them. You don't have the nightmare of you know, the Bugatti's W16 and having to pull half the car apart in order to get to it. Jerry knew what he was doing when he put this car together, and the way he designed it was so that it was serviceable. It was easy to work on. Things could be fixed quickly if need be. General maintenance items, very, very easy, not complicated at all. Easy enough to get under there, do it very quickly. And with all the filming that I did today, moving the camera around, setting it back up, tearing it down, setting it back up, tearing it down, we literally spent 3 whole hours doing that with the tear down, or should I say the setup and take down of the camera multiple times. So truthfully, a very, very easy car to do. That can be done without camera work, probably hour and a half, with the cleaning outside and getting it all brushed up. Just to change the spark plugs, if you were just swapping them out, probably less than an hour, if you're set up and ready to go. So it's a nice, easy car to work on. So I appreciate everybody tuning in again, and hopefully we'll catch you on the next one. And for all the ladies out there who are watching, which, guys, by the way, there are more women watching this channel than there are men. So keep a close eye on that. Thank you, women. I appreciate you. I love that you're watching this, and hope to see you again soon.